Hello, my name is Nick. I'm with Village Coach and I'm going to show you how to do a bunk change on a Sumner build. Now first we'll start off with taking everything out of the bunks, giving you access to take the front bunk rails off in order to move them in place in the correct orientation. This orientation is condo and we're going to be changing it into coffin. So we'll start by removing all the curtains and mattresses. Now with everything removed, we can remove our bunk faces and the wall mounts that keep the bunk in place. After everything has been removed from the bunk rail, we now need to free up space in order for us to move the bunk rail in this cabin here. So I'll start by pulling all vents that are in the way of the bunk rail's path. So after all fasteners have been removed and vents have been pulled out of the way of the bunk rail, we can now move it into a coffin position. Very carefully, I'm sliding it all the way to the front and then back and making sure it is firm in position before letting go. Just like the top bunks, you will also need to remove the bottom vents in order to clear a path for your bunk rail. The bottom bunk can be a little bit more tricky as it requires you to reach farther underneath it to get it in position. So what I do is I start by getting it on the very top of the opposite cleat, and while simultaneously pulling back to feed in to the rear cleat as it just snapped into position. After all rails are in position for your coffin setup, you will reinstall all air vents and begin assembling your face panels again. Start by securing your bunk rails to the wall. The bottom bunks will not require these, but the middle and the top bunks will. These are 7/16 bolts that secure the bunk rail securely to the front walls. While installing the front face, it is important to have it flush against the wall while also screwing it back into place. It is also important to make sure you do not over torque the screws, as both the face and the bunk wall are made out of wood. After making sure the bunks are firmly in place and that you are now in your coffin setup, we can install the mattresses as well as the curtains. The curtains may be located either underneath the bus or in the back closet behind a panel, requiring you to unscrew to get access to. When installing the curtains, it is important to note that they will have a little tab on them indicating which bunk they go in the coffin orientation or condo orientation. And that'll complete the coffin bunk setup for the Sumner build. And to follow in a condo setup, you would essentially watch the video in reverse.